Headed on a road trip, let's go, washing every town we dip on past. You're in charge of the tunes.
Hey folks, another little project on the way. What I'm doing is taking the jockey wheel off the front of the van. We got a 2019 Desert Storm, so we're taking the jockey wheel off. They're a bit susceptible to breaking, falling off, coming loose, and putting a blackjack on. Blackjack's a electrically operated caravan lift. It's rated at 1600 kilos, so it'll actually lift 1600 kilos off the ground, which is more than your 350 kilo ball weight. What it consists of, okay, is the blackjack itself, this guy here. Okay, and I think it's got about a 520 millimeter reach from the shaft inside, so it's quite a long drop on it, so it'll fit any van and it'll lift it as high as you need to lift it. Okay, it also comes with a foot, stabilising foot, that's adjustable as well with pins, so it gives a bit more reach as well. And then comes this guy here. This is I'll show you more about this when I get it on. This is a automatic foot drop, so when you wind it up, it'll actually curve up and it'll stow itself away. When you lower it down, it locks itself into position. I'll try it out as soon as I get it all installed and see how it goes. Little blackjack base plate, instruction manual of course, make sure you read that. A handle, this is an override handle in case you have flat batteries or you get a stone and breaks your wire or something like that and you don't have power, you can actually override it with a handle. And it comes with the mounting plate which goes onto the chassis, and if you're going onto the actual rail itself, you can put this as a backing plate as well. All comes with 10 and 12 millimeter bolts, quite heavy duty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be bolting the mounting plate straight to the centre rail, and I'll show you that in a second, because the Desert Storms have a centre rail. They don't actually put their jockey wheel on the actual chassis rail. And of course the blackjack bag goes over to protect it from the elements, stones and rain and stuff like that, and a pretty rudimentary kind of wiring kit. I think the kit 1001 comes with actually a full wiring harness with 6mm wire and all that sort of stuff, fuse breakers and things like to go back to your battery. But this basically connects straight to your battery. Okay, the front of the van. I've removed the bracket which was on there. It's not a pretty sight, so I didn't film it. Basically angle grinder, cold chisel, and start smacking it off. It comes off pretty well. Clean it up with an angle grinder and then give it a coat of protective paint just to rust proof, and then drill the holes out. The holes are 12mm holes. I've got to redo these other holes here now to make it all 12mm. Just stepping them up as I go. The two bottom ones come straight through, and the top one's actually mounted onto the plate itself. Okay, so as you can see, this particular van here, this cross member here, is where they mounted the original jockey wheel, not on the side. But these things can go on the side. You got a hole underneath, hole on top, so it fits like a 6-inch rail. So no problems at all. So it's designed for many sort of sizes, which is quite good. Only thing I have noticed is the alignment when the unit's facing to the front on here. It doesn't seem to be wanting to go sit exactly forward. So it wants to sit on a bit of an angle. Don't know why yet. When I get it on there, the bracket on there, I'll have another look at it. I might be able to drill out a hole or something like that and make it. I just think that it should. And this is something for blackjack to look at, is just to face forward, or to be able to face 45 degrees or 90 degrees. You should be able to have that option. Just because it's on here, you can make it face forward because it's on an angle, but it is about a 10 to 15 degree offset. Let's see how we go. Okay, just a quick update on installing the blackjack. Because this trailer has a bar straight across, the blackjack doesn't want to line up properly because it won't face directly to the front. It'll come on an angle, and when it comes on an angle, it won't allow the foot to lift up without getting jammed up. So what I've done is lined it all up. I'm going to drill another 10mm hole in this position here, and that'll allow the whole unit to sit and face the front. So and then the foot will actually then face to the rear, so when it folds up properly it goes to the rear, and if it did drop down for some reason and hit the road and it'll bounce up, it won't jam up and smash the gear. So I putting a 10mm hole here, and that should fix the problem to make it face the front. Manufacturers, I don't know why you did that, because surely a lot of caravans will be facing this way here. Maybe they're saying turn it the other way, which would line up with this hole here. But you've got to allow for, you know, nearly all situations where it's going to have to sit on the back of a bar, not the front of a bar. If it was sitting there, it'd be all right because that hole here will be around there. But in this case, because it's sitting backwards, it's not. So just something to remember, you guys, when you're manufacturing these things, to try out all angles. Got the blackjack on. Okay, hasn't been wired up yet. But basically what I'm using is the bottom foot, which automatically folds up, and I'll show you that later on, but it automatically folds up when you get to top dead center. Okay. Switches on the front. It's got a light switch on the left-hand side there, and the up and down, obviously. And all gets bolted to the front. Cleaned it all up. It's all been cleaned up and resprayed. Made it all look nice and shiny. So give it a bit of TLC. Finished the blackjack. Put them all on. Wired it all up. Brought the wires in underneath the van, through the chassis rail, back up through. Comes out of the battery into a fuse, a MIDI fuse, and then along to the blackjack itself. Just cleaned it all up. Put coat of paint on it. And this is a blackjack here. This is the foot here. As that goes up, bar, or top of the ram, and then it just, when it's on the back of the car, then it just folds up, stows away by itself. Comes with a pretty cool cover. Okay, there's a unit there. Okay, underneath here, there's a light up in there. So the on-off switch, it's for the light. And the retract and extension is lifting it up. Okay, I brought it in from the chassis rail, as you can see, into an Anderson plug. So if I need to, I can always unplug that and plug something in there like a pump or a compressor or something like that, and that's straight power, 35-40 amps, no problems at all. But anyway, there's the blackjack all installed, come up pretty well. I was very happy with it. As I said before when I was talking, I had to drill a hole in the front because when it's on the vehicle or the trailer, it's supposed to be on this bar here, well, according to what they say, and facing that way. So therefore, when you turn it around, those holes are lined up. Because the Sunseeker have got a horizontal bar across here and a plate, you might as well bolt it straight to that. It'd be silly not to. So to line it up properly, I had to drill a hole down through there, but that's no big deal. If you had it on here and the brackets are supplied to fit that would be okay. You could do that. I didn't want it on the side, I want it central, just for strength and looks. Otherwise a DOCD. And okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. So that's it. Don't forget the base plate underneath on the ground. And when you finish that, just chuck it probably down in there, I reckon. Nice little spot for it. Painted the handbrake, cleaned it up a bit. All good.